Hi golf, it's Nick here for Nick Taylor Golf. It's Friday, so welcome to another lesson on golf tips. This week on Golf Tips, we're going to teach you golfers out there how to hit a straight shot. This is also going to help you golfers if you slice or hook the golf ball. But first of all, we're just going to talk about the straight shot. So straight shot would have a very square club face and a very square club path. So let's give it a go. So you can see on the screen there, that shot was pretty straight. You can see it landed on the green just left of the pin, but just taking a look at that club data, the path was actually dead straight. You can see that red line, 0. Club face is 1 degree closed. So there you have it on the screen there on that left-hand side, 0.0 swing path, club face was 1 degree closed. So how was I able there? I knew I was going to hit that straight. I knew that when I made that swing, my club path was going to be straight. So we're going to first of all talk about the setup changes that I would make between my kind of normal swing and that swing there where I wanted to hit the golf ball straight. We're also going to dive into some setup changes you can make to encourage more of a draw shot, and also some setup changes to help you fade the golf ball. Very simple changes, but also these changes can help if you have a particular pattern in your ball flight. If you suffer from slicing, then I'm going to teach you how to get rid of that slice and start to draw the golf ball. So hitting the ball straight, it's not as complicated as maybe it looks or you think it is, right? You just need to be able to swing this club straight, square the club face straight, do it at speed, hit the middle of the face. Okay, yeah, it's probably a little bit harder than it sounds, but basically there's certain things that I do in my setup. I don't really change my swing, which is the interesting thing for you guys, that if you do slice, you do hook, there's some very simple things you can adjust just in your setup to help you change your ball flight or hit the ball straighter. We're going to take a look at my setup here. I've got the video on the screen here from both viewpoints. Now, the first thing I do to straighten out the ball flight and swing straighter is place the ball closer to my front foot. You can see on the screen there, it's basically on my left heel. I use these grid lines a lot, and we talk about how the draw is built into the grid, because by having the ball behind your left shoulder, you're promoting a more in to out swing, and having it in the front, you're promoting a more out to in swing. By having the ball basically on the left shoulder, now you can see there it's kind of in line with my left heel. It's basically just on the inside of my left shoulder. So that's what, as I set up to the golf ball here, for me this is the position that works for me to hit this straight. I'm basically lining the ball just on the inside of my shoulder, and I'm going to square the face as much as possible, but also my swing path I know is going to be pretty straight at that point. This is the point here, guys. When you put the ball on your left shoulder, that swing path should be very straight before it starts to then move back around to the left. And this isn't normally where I have the ball position, but if I really wanted to hit it straight, that's where I place the ball, because at this point here, the club is going to start to change direction and start to come back from outside in, if you like. The ball position being behind the left shoulder more would generally promote more of a draw shot. So if I wanted to hit a little bit of a draw here, I would just place this ball a little bit further back in my stance. That would be the first thing I would do to try and draw the golf ball. And we're going to go into hitting some of these shots in a minute, but I just wanted to just talk to you there about the setup position to hit a straight shot. I have the ball basically just on the inside of my left shoulder. Now, if you're a certain player that overdraws or slices, you may have to change it slightly depending on you as an individual, but for me, in my swing pretty much on plane, I have the ball just on the inside of my left shoulder, and you can see from the side view there, the handle is pointing probably just below my belt, just that lower part of my belt as I set up. The handle height is also important, because we're going to get into that. The changes you can make just by changing the handle height and the ball position and the hand position compared to what I do for a straight shot, so if I want to try and draw the golf ball or even fade the golf ball. Next up, guys, I'm just going to show you my standard golf shot, which is the push draw. So I'm going to have the ball now a bit further back in my stance, behind my left heel. And what I'm going to do is just open up the club face slightly. I know this ball's going to draw, so I need to start it to the right. Its path's going to be 3 or 4 degrees inside out. So pretty tight little draw. That's my standard shot. Wasn't too bad actually. Almost pitched in the hole. 3.4 degrees into out. You can see the face 1.6 degrees closed, pretty much out the middle of the face. So That's basically my standard shot with the ball a bit further back. So as soon as I start to move that ball further back, it starts to project the path more out to the right. It starts to hit more down on the golf ball. So there's my two shots there. The standard shot, which is where the ball's back from my left shoulder, and then the straight shot where the ball's closer to the left shoulder. Because I swing this club on the plane line, I know that I'm going to get these different path numbers. Now, for you guys out there, this is something that you can certainly experiment with. The ball position is really down to you as an individual. If you find that you hit better shots with the ball further back in your stance, you hit better shots with different handle height, which we're going to get into in a minute, then that's what I would suggest you to do. There's no one way to do this. I know just by changing a couple little things, I'm going to get a different ball flight, as you can see there. So you may be thinking, why don't you just try and hit it straight every time? Like, I hit that first shot pretty straight, I hit that draw, actually it was a better shot. Now, when we talk about hitting a draw, I'm not trying to have a lot of shape on this ball. That ball was pretty straight, it just had a tight little draw in it. I find that having the ball a bit further back for me does help me make more solid contact. I think if you try it out, try the different ball position, certainly having it further back generally helps you hit the ball first. And I think that's the point here, guys. The draw is built in because we're hitting the ball before that left shoulder, where the path's moving out to the right, and we're also hitting more down. Now, what do we do if you slice the golf ball? What do you do if you struggle with contact? What do you want to do if you want to try and get more shape or hit the ball from right to left? Well, the first thing I'm going to do here is get the ball, is move the ball further back in my stance, right? We talked there about the ball position for the sort of tight little push draw. Now I'm going to move it back a little bit further. I'm going to put these pictures on the screen here when I hit these shots earlier. I've got the sort of standing ball position towards the front of the left shoulder, and then the other ball position towards, kind of more towards the back of my stance. And you'll see the difference in where my hands are at this point. And if you look at this from the side view, you're also going to see a difference in my handle height, right? We talked there earlier, my standard or straight shot, the handle height was just at a lower part of my belt. Now I've got it raised up. So by raising the handle and moving the ball further back and pushing the hands forward, right, I'm going to start to project this path more inside out and more down. So I'm actually going to open this face a little bit more now. I don't practice this a lot, but I know my path is going to be way more inside out and more down. It's just getting that club face, making sure that's open enough to the target to start it out to the right. Okay, so you can see there I've held the follow through a little bit. And also I think if you're trying to draw the ball, this is the point here, I kind of naturally do that when I hit this shot. I swung 8.6 degrees into out, face was 4 degrees closed, similar sort of swing speed, similar sort of ending up position, right? I've hit all those three shots pretty much on the green, but in different ways, right? Now, with that draw shot, by having the handle more forward, the ball further back, I'm catching the ball more on the down. I was like 9 degrees down there, 8 degrees into out, right? Having the handle forward and higher is helping me close the face to the path, right? And you can see that that shot there was close to the path. The ball started right because I aimed the face right, projected that path out to the right. Now, that's what I do if I want to draw the golf ball. Move the ball back, handle higher, handle forward. So I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to do now to try and do the opposite, which would be to fade the golf ball. So now I'm going to place the ball more in front of my left shoulder. Right, we saw where the kind of the ball position was for the straight shot. Now I'm going to play that ball further forward, really lower the handle, actually have the face closed to the target here to start left. Now, difficult thing with this is generally the attack angle is harder to hit down, and I'll generally will come up a bit shorter because there's more loft, but we'll see if we can get this close to the green. So I'm going to lower my handle, have the handle back, ball forward. Now this is going to project more like a more cut spin on the ball. Okay, I struck it pretty well. Now, is it going to get there? Get up. Oh, it did as well. So you can see the shot on the screen there. Pretty close, probably actually the closest one. Now, path there was 2 degrees out to in, 1.7 degrees open with the face, and yeah, the attack angle was 1 degree down. So big difference from that last shot. Now, I had to put a little bit more speed in that because I knew that I wasn't really going to get there unless I did. So I had to put a little bit more force in that, but just shows you guys, right? Just these little changes you can make. Now, you can see the ball flights were kind of different. All the shots there went onto the green, but very different way, right? We're going to go into kind of the different movements that I made with that draw and that fade shot, which is crucial in terms of how I've kind of released the golf club. But just by changing those couple of key things that set up, it made such a big difference to kind of the delivery of the club and the outcome of that ball flight. Although all the shots went, I'll take all of them, went on the green. I think the interesting thing there was about kind of the way I release the club there. Now, a lot of people get kind of confused by this, but actually when I drew the ball the most, I didn't really complete my follow through. I didn't really rehinge the club. I kind of had a more held off finish as I went through. Then when I hit that last shot, I actually kind of technically released or rehinged the club the most when I hit that cut shot and kept the face open, right? Because I'm doing this in a slightly different way, right? I'm actually, for that draw shot, I knew the face, by keeping the handle forward and up, was going to be closed. I don't need to kind of excessively roll, and I certainly don't want to rehinge it as I go through, because that's actually going to kind of open the face, and that's where people get a little bit confused, I think, in the release of the club. Now, if you think about this, right, that fade shot at the end there, where the ball at the front, right, I actually had the handle lower, and actually I had to kind of use my wrists a little bit more here as I went through, and that's also giving me a little bit more speed. But if you think about, if you're trying to play like a bunker shot, right, you're going to lower the handle and you're going to kind of rehinge the club the most, right? That's going to keep that face more open. If I lower my handle, ball further forward, handle back, release the club, that's going to open my club face here as I go through. And that's what we're trying to do when you're trying to reduce the hook or cut the ball a bit more. When we do the draw, we're trying to actually do the opposite, raise the handle, move handle forward, and keep kind of more of a flex in the wrist here. I'm not really rolling the face open. I knew my path is going to project that, or give me that chance to draw the ball. I just had to have my face slightly closed at impact to draw it back. So very different kind of follow-throughs there, right? That draw, or trying to stop a slice swing, actually has a smaller follow-through with less roll. I'm just trying to keep the club face closed to path as I come through, whereas the cut shot, trying to keep the face open, I'll lower the handle and rehinge the club back to keep the face open. So think about it like playing a bunker shot, right? If you slice the golf ball, you need to try and kind of punch the ball further back. If you overhook it, you want to feel like you kind of hit like a bunker shot, right? If there's water on the left and you're hitting an iron into a green, sometimes I'll get that feeling, have the handle slightly back, lower it, just feel that kind of bunker shot feel in the finish, and that will kind of help me take that curve off to the left. So guys, hopefully this video helps, goes into a little bit of detail there, but just wanted to show you there's different ways to do this, right? We have a system in the stack and tilt system of having a grid, having different ball positions, and really there's no set way to do it. I'm happy some days, and for you guys that I teach, to have the ball at the back of the stance, some at the front. Really does depend on your pattern, the way you set up and the way you swing can make a big difference where you have that ball position. Certainly some players will benefit from a different ball position and a different handle position. So thanks for watching, golfers. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again next week for another video.